It was a pretty interesting meeting there on Sunday, DK, with the 4 jumps races. And
was it the Crisp and whatever else was on there?
So Wells won.
Wells won, yeah, great jump.
While everyone was having their cornflakes, and there was a Kiwi dominated the Grand National. So, and
but there's a few
punters like me that running on the flat races, it was like a break for half time.
Yep.
Come back for the
last quarter.
Yeah. Thank God for me, I found Betty Ray Ruby at $34 because the rest of it wasn't.
It was a good find, mate. Betty Ray Ruby.
Yes.
So I know her. I've known her from way back in her maiden days, but then she's a really honest, solid mare, isn't she?
Yeah. She
but
had
off a long spell.
She had a good prep last prep, good long spell. So her jump outs are important, and she trialled the best she'd ever trialled in life.
Really sharp.
Yeah. She travelled really sweetly in a jump out behind Rocks the Castle, and got within a neck of him.
Yeah,
and then it was running past him. I mean, it doesn't mean everything, but it just meant that she was.
It's a good pointer. She's in good order, especially for a mare.
Yeah.
You know.
And a magnificent ride by B. Allen. So anyway, the first flat race there on Saturday, DK, was the 3-year-olds. It was a small field, but a very interesting race.
The 2 maiden winners?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was going to ask you about that. I have that written down. I asked you about that, Potts, how you handle that, because we had Knock Knock, who we mentioned on the last show out of the fast time race at Bendigo, and we had Piedra.
Yeah, who was a visually impressive.
Visually impressive, with the sections to back it up.
Absolutely, yeah.
So then they come into a small field.
He made Condo's Express look second rate.
Yeah, that's right. I backed Condo's Express that day because it was a leader.
Yeah.
And this thing just went whooshka. From barrier 11, come round them and said, "Oh, you're talented horse." But obviously there was some time differences between Knock Knock and Piedra. But here they come into a slow race. So obviously Knock Knock was going to deal with different circumstances, wasn't it? And you can probably talk about it from here. You lined them up and what you thought.
Well, just on their platform, the rating they brought into the race, I had nothing between them. But Piedra drew 1 and Knock Knock drew the wide gate, and I thought that it would give Knock Knock the position advantage. So I marked it shorter, but not by a lot, and I didn't have anything else single figures. Whereas the market had 2 other runners in single figures, and one of them stayed pretty solid in the market. It was a Sutton horse.
First starter, was it? Or was it?
No, it was resuming.
I was resuming, okay, it was first starter. Well, that's a good sign.
And actually ran a really nice race.
Okay, well, that's a good sign. Betting plus run well.
I'll have to tell you the name of that horse because it ran well.
I'll find it.
And
there's another one as well.
In the end, Piedra's done a terrific job, and he's obviously a very promising horse.
Yeah, well, that's twice now.
The horse was Treaty of Seville.
Treaty of Seville.
Yeah, nice, really nice.
Solid in the market and run well. So,
so it won on debut, then it had a subpar run, a long spell, and stayed hard in the market in that race, even though it was a small field. So yeah, it was a really interesting race. I'd sort of backed Knock Knock early and then saved on Piedra late, so I sort of got the betting right. And
well, then in the betting, they run about 220, 270 or something like that, was it?
So Knock Knock was 2-1 into 5-4 pretty much,
right?
And Piedra was the other way around.
Yeah,
6-4 out to about 2-1.
Yeah.
The rest of the card was pretty stock standard there, that typical winter fair.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking on that. I think because it's been a slowly run race, hasn't it? I just had a quick look at the first section. I had a quick look before it came, so I'm thinking because Knock Knock came out of a really fast run, big field, came along the rail,
so did his own thing.
Did his own thing in a good rhythm.
Yeah.
First 3 homer along the fence, Bendigo, and then he's coming into this what's going to be a slow tempo small field where Piedra's coming out of seemed to have the better turn of foot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think he's been a bit more advantage there on the one now on Saturday.
I think Knock Knock's really a miler, so he just needs to get up there and then we'll
D. Holland said 2000 when he after he won on debut. Typical Prushka, you know. They can win over 1200, but they're like surprise baby, but they're 2,000 metre plus horses. So anyway, but Piedra, I'd say he's a nice horse to follow. Obviously,
they both
are in the right circumstances.
And as we'll talk about before, DK, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. We're seeing some horses at the jump outs and trials for the spring.
There was 28 trials at Cranbourne yesterday with a few spring horses. If you squeeze the jump outs at Flemington or Caulfield, they're all there getting their bases under them for the spring, so it's good. And the weather was alright till we got a little bit of cold blast this week, but we thought we were nearly through winter, but anyway, obviously a couple of weeks to go. And the boys in Darwin up there, Paddy Bet and Scooter and all that, Getting on to me over the weekend. It's 33 up here, lovely, cold beer, races, prawns.
So what's been happening at, how was the carnival, Duke? I've taken no interest in Darren. How was it?
Well, I think, I just watched the cup. I just saw yesterday.
Who won the cup?
It's him, the WA Group 1 winner.
10-year-old, wouldn't he?
9 or 8, yeah. He won the Broome, won a race at Broome, came across, had the lead up, and then he won the cup.
He had a preparation here, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when it was. But ages ago.
Yeah. So he won. So there was a big crowd there, and everyone's so I went last year. Obviously, I was a bit jealous looking at all the social media stuff up there because it's a great time, especially down here in the middle of winter, and get up there and have a bit of fun up there. It was great. So anyway, they'll be back. But I'll did see him, mate.
Yep. What else we got, mate?
What else?
Any questions come in? Or
I had one question about. Was from Darren. I replied to him, but I just thought it was, and we might have covered this in past episodes. But his question was, do I bet predominantly fixed odds or tote odds? And so I just thought I may as well cover that again because it does change as the market's been changing, especially with the taxes and the percentages going up in the early markets and things like that.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind. The answer is it's an ever changing target.
Yeah. So we're say 5 years ago, I would have been 80%. 90% fixed odds. A lot of that early market now it's I'd probably be 20% early fixed odds and throwing. I'll just explain that I struggle to get best tote and things like that, and I don't want to cop the TAB not knowing what price I'm getting, so I'll throw it on Betfair instead, which is similar dividends and things like that. So I'm probably throwing 80% late on Betfair and copying the market intelligence at the same time.
Well, just the way the market is at the moment, the corporates are doing everything to claw back the point of consumption tax and the fees. So, you've got to be pretty selective about which fixed prices you take in the early market, and then it's we can all thank our lucky stars, and let's hope it always remains that both the tabs, the totes, and the and Betfair drag the corporates out to a competitive percentage.
Yeah.
Somewhat towards a competitive percentage.
And that's getting later and later. They used to get busier, and now they're holding right off.
Yeah.
So that's at least that happens. But as I said, then there's and obviously people say, well, how do you know when to bet early and when not to? We've spoken about this in the past, but I'd say the main factors are who's riding the horse.
Yeah.
I'd say that's for the computer models. That is still predominantly the main factor. I saw that. I wasn't sure. We spoke about a horse, Think I'd Fly, or whatever the thing was the other day. Wednesday, won the maiden, won the fifth maiden. So it ran 7th on debut, had a wide barrier, but it had D. Oliver on it.
Yeah.
Right, so, it's got D. Oliver on it, so there's a good chance it's attractive for people. It's attractive for a couple of reasons, and then it has the jockey, so there's a good chance it was going to shorten, and it ended up being heavily backed, didn't it?
Yes, very heavily backed.
Very heavily backed, right? So
when I first did that race, it was $6.50. And it's ended up paying $2.90 on the totes. There was some deductions, but they were only fairly minor. And the favourite on the other hand was like 6 to 4, 250 to 270 for most of the market, and got out towards $3.
They ran equal, basically, didn't they? And I was worried. I was concerned about the map because it had barrier 11 or barrier 12. So it was 4 wide the trip, and still, I mean, the fall. But I don't think any of the falls were going to figure.
No.
But there was just going to be these two horses that came away. So that was interesting. So D. Oliver was on. The map is another one. I mean, if it maps back, wait and bet late. If it maps forward, that's another reason. So, what race is it out of? Is it out of a good one with our stuff, with our ratings?
Yeah.
Out of a sound rating race? There are always people attracted to those horses rather than low rating races, and also the opposition. I mean, are people going to be attracted to the opposition? Is the market going to hold up, or are they all going to be? Oh, this horse stands out. I'm not going to be the only one who likes this. I can see that the late sectional guys are going to back that horse, but I think it'll get back. The computer models like this horse because it'll go to the front, but I don't think it'll be that strong. So yes, it's there's so many. It's like anything in racing, mate. There's so many different things that make up that. But you've got to feel all that when you're doing your prices and whether you want to take the price.
So when you do, the way I think about it, because when you do a market, so who's your top pick, and does the market have the same top pick, and then what are the alternatives? And then you consider the factors that you just talked about, the map, the rider, so on. Yeah. So if the clear top pick in the race has got a gun rider and maps beautifully, and there are a lack of alternatives in the race, doesn't really matter what price they are. They're almost certain to short.
Short, that's right.
That's just what happens.
Yeah.
Because they're easy to lay, and the momentum just gets carried away and so forth. And then the other ones that shorten are the ones where they haven't been priced correctly in the first cut, but they're fewer and fewer these days. So
fewer and fewer. That's right. Yeah, it's different. But and the other thing I'll say with something we've seen in the last couple of weeks with some first starters, with some heavily backed first starters, like we take the position that I do anyway. That, I mean, we do our best to find jump outs, and we can only read so much into them, but people know more about those horses than we do.
Yeah.
Right. So there was a thing at Maui on Saturday called Frondure, right? Mick Price, first starter, it was a couple of things with talent in the race. They went up. They must have gone up when Maui. They went up at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. By 4:20, it was $4 into $2.40. So that's red flag straight away.
It's either the jump out watchers or the connections.
I'm thinking it's connections waiting for it, because I watched the jump outs. You couldn't. Yeah. I'd say you had a chance. So it wasn't a jump out. I didn't think it was a jump out.
Okay. I'm saying the alternatives are those. You're saying it's not the jump out watchers.
Well, it could have been, but I'm thinking it's more someone was waiting for them to go up to say. So then it's in the betting. It runs 220. Sort of that was it. There's a couple of alternatives in the race. Well, D Holland just wrote it. He was obviously told by Mick Price, or whoever, this has got 6 links on these. Write it accordingly, and it did.
Is that the one where he sort of sat back early and just went round them?
And fucking didn't even just give it a bit of a nudge and laid in a little bit on the straight, just steered at the line 1 by 4 lengths. You know, so that people know a lot more. I look at its jump out, like it was held up in behind it, and a jump out, and another jump out had finished with them. But there's no way you could say that was on the cards. And there was another one at Paddy Payne, first starter at Mildura. She won the first race on the Friday, Carchi.
Oh yeah.
So it was a slow tempo, and she didn't do much. So she went up 2-1, $3, and 10 minutes later she was evens, and ran 150. So it's just straight away. You know, she's just.
That'd definitely be connections, because they never do much in the jump outs.
Yeah.
Ever, if you can find one.
And then the snowing effect with the Paddy Payne, you know, and she hasn't run great because it was a slow tempo, and she just rounded up. But she's a good horse going forward. She looks a talented horse going forward. So I had her as horses to follow. I had her, Carchi, Chasing Returns, obviously.
Yep.
And Frondure. And I think those yesterday, quickly I did the videos this morning for a Chuka, and I thought the 2 first starters of Allerton's went quite well. I think the first one chased home Smitten, and and the second was a thing called Dirty Deeds, which launched late to reel in the leader. And I looked up Allerton's stats, and they haven't really been factoring with first starters prior to yesterday. But the key was Jamie Carr going there yesterday, and I learnt that from that wishful thinking at Wangaratta. Because she said, I rode it in the gallop, and I told Andrew Noblet, I'll go. I want to ride this first start. And he said, I'm sending it to Wang. Oh, it's a bit far, but I'm still going to ride it. And she went up there and was well fancied. So, and then there she was after she got off Simon Zara. Said, Jamie got off this in the jump out the other day, and said, I'll be riding this wherever it goes, please, Simon. So just again to the jockeys, you know, they're just a bit of a guide.
No, I didn't know formula, but I saw Dirty Deeds' race, and geez, that's a nice win. And we looked at the market, and it was just $7.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like it was heavily labelled.
No, that's what I was waiting for. I had a chance. If it was a snowing, I might have joined in, but I just Terry Bailey really liked it. You could really, his jump outs were quite attractive,
right? Okay.
Compared to some other horses in that race.
Well, there you go. They just
but it's a 3 wide the trip.
Yeah.
3 wide the trip. The leader put 3 links on it and ran it down. Like it was really an above average performance, but. They were one from 43 with debutantes going into yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Over the last 18 months at camp. So that's probably one of the reasons why.
Yep.
Anyway, but I thought they were interesting. So they both look like horses to follow to make pots. Anything else? What's coming up? Ori Star on Saturday?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it much, but another winter style meeting at Cranbourne tomorrow. We'll play for that. But I mean, the funny thing about these meetings is they do present opportunities, because it's not easy for anyone. You know, if it's not easy for us, it's not easy for anyone. It's hard work, you know, trying to work out who are the horses that are going to be suited and are there. So I just did a race before I come. Czechoslovakia, who I backed and per perseverance
got Sydney.
I thought it'd be favourite, and there it is, $7 tomorrow. Oh. So that means there's a variance of opinion on that horse. You know, it's coming off 2 Cranbourne runs, where it's run through the line powerfully. In a pretty moderate race tomorrow, I'll be pricing it shorter than that for sure. I'm not exactly sure how short. I've got to tidy a few things up to think about it, but